Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how I created this really cool mixed media art journal page in my Dyson Deal Mixed Media Challenge. So if you're interested in checking out how I created this and you'd like to play along, stick around and I'll show you how I did it. Hey guys, it's me, Cali. Welcome to our second Dyson Deal Mixed Media Challenge. For this challenge, I use my Mixed Media Inspiration Deck by Kiala Givehand, and I'll put all her information below. Make sure you check her out. And also a pair of dice. We're going to roll the dice, and depending on the number rolled, we'll draw the corresponding amount of cards as long as it's above a 4. If it's under a 4, we'll roll again. And then depending on the prompts given, we're going to create a page or a project. So I encourage you guys to join me and play along. And like I said, I'll link all of Kiala's info below. So let's get started. Just give these guys a good shuffle, and then we'll roll the dice. My cards are still a little stiff. I imagine by the end of the year, we won't have that same problem. Okay. Alright, here we go. What do you think it's going to be? 7. I think that's what we got last time. Lucky number 7. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not going to look at any of them prior, and we're just going to write with a paintbrush using India ink or paint. And then in the small print it says chopsticks, skewers, pipettes, and bent paper clips are fun too. Okay, let me get my journal, which I've already prepped, and we'll get started. Okay, let's get started. As usual, I'm using my Delusions journal by Ranger. I think it's like 8.5 by 11-ish. I've already prepped our page, some masking tape down the side, and I've done some gesso. Now, I've grabbed the closest thing to India ink that I have. This is Pelican, whatever that means. I've probably had it for 25 years. And it says write. So I like to do song lyrics and things like that, but I recently posted the spoken poem Desiderata. I don't know if you guys know that. It's an old poem written by a gentleman named Max Ehrman. He wrote it in the 20s, and it became popular in the 70s as kind of an inspirational poem. But I'm just going to write the words to that poem, and we'll see. Oh, I'm not using a paintbrush. I'm using a ink pen, you know, quill pen type of thing. So, yeah. Let's see. You are a child of the universe. No less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. Sorry about the scratching. Ooh, look at those splatters. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. I'm going to finish this up or we're going to be here for an hour. See you when it's done. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I gave Max credit on the bottom here, and again, the poem is Desiderata. Check it out. There's even a recording out there of Leonard Nimoy, you know, Spock, doing a reading of this, so check it out. Anyway, let's move on to our second prompt. What a way to get started here. Just taking them right off the top. Add gel medium or modeling paste through a stencil, let dry, and add fluid paint over it. Oh my, that's going to be fun. Alright, let me gather some supplies and I'll see you right back here. Okay, I'm back and I have some modeling paste by Liquitex. This is brand new. I've never used it before. I've always used homemade modeling paste in the past, so I'm looking forward to this. And I grabbed a couple of stencils. I have this one, Art Is by the Crafters Workshop, and this Andy Skinner stencil, Made to Measure, which I thought I might use some of the numbers on the side or the measuring tape. So let's just get started. I have no plan here. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. I have a little palette knife and my AARP card. Let's just try not to smush this too bad. Ah, it's like whipped cream. I'll just show you a little bit here. Nice and smooth. Looks like a little goes a long way. Mine in the past has always been super gritty because I used a combination of baby powder and cornstarch and stuff. This is super smooth. Alright, I'm going to stop playing with it and just show you this little bit here, and then I'm going to do the edges off camera. I don't know how well you can see that or not, but delightful. Something to be said about good products. Okay, and then I think around the edges, like I said, I'll just show you an example. I'm just going to smooth a little here, just so there's kind of texture all over the whole page, which I'm sure we're going to be covering up anyway, so I try not to get too hung up in these layers. But just like that, I'm going to go around the edges with some various ones, and I'll be back and show you. Okay, here you have it, and it's nice and dry now. How much of this will show up when we're done, who knows? But let's do the second part of the card prompt, which is to add fluid paint over this. And I don't know about you guys, but whenever I use up my acrylic paint, I add water to them and turn them into fluid paint. So this is the kind of fluid paint I have. I have this folk art in fluorescent purple here, and this is an old apple barrel in some type of teal. It says Laguna, but it's like a teal. So I'm going to just drip them on the page, and first, before I do that, I have a spray bottle here with some water. I'm just going to lightly spray the page to help them become even more fluid. So I'm literally just going to, let's see if we could tilt this a little bit. Drip it. Okay. Add some more water. And I'm just going to play with this a little, let it run. And then I'll add that teal to it as well. I have some wax paper in between my sheets here. Okay. That looks cool just like that. I'll leave it just like that. But I am going to add the teal to it. And shake it up. And this is really liquidy, so I'm going to hold it this way this time. Very cool. Okay, I'm just going to play with this a little bit, swirl it around, let it run, and I'll be back when it's nice and dry, and we'll see what we're looking at, okay? See you in a few minutes. Okay, this is where we're at. This took a long time to dry. The page was super wet, but I think it's pretty. What do you think? I'm happy with it, and it's time to move on to the next card. So let's see what we get. Add a silhouette. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm going to have to create one. Maybe, I don't know. I'll be back when I figure it out and I'll show you. Okay, I grabbed some black poster paper I have and a white chalk pastel, and I just drew out a sun, and I'm going to cut it out, and I think in the center I'm going to either do a spiral or a heart. I'm not sure which. So I'm going to cut it out, and then I'm going to use my Aleene's clear tacky glue and glue it down. So that's what I've decided, and I'll see you back here when that part's done. Okay, I got it all cut out, and I decided to do the spiral, as you can see. And before I glue it down, I'm just going to take my black Sharpie and go along the edges here and get rid of that white edge. I'll also probably edge it out once I have it glued down, but I just wanted to show you. I'm, like I said, going to just use this, and we'll get it stuck down, and I'll see you back here when all that's done. Okay, here we have it. Everything's all glued down, and I did outline it. My Stabilo pencil is down to a nub, so instead I pulled out my Inktense pencils, and I just used my black one, and I went around it, and I activated it with my water brush. It's permanent once it's dry, so you know, and I'm all trying to make it look really good and realize that we still have 4 prompts to go, so this is probably going to get covered up too. But nice to remember these things along the way. These challenges are good for that, if nothing else. They give you ideas of, you know, future projects. So on to the next prompt. Here we go. What do we got? Add numbers to your art. Well, we already have numbers all the way through with the stencils, but I guess we're adding some more. So let me see what I can come up with for some numbers, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, I don't know if you're going to consider this cheating or not, but I've decided to incorporate the existing numbers that are all over this page in the texture paste. So I'm using the very last remnants of a tube of antique gold Rub and Buff. Looks like in addition to my Stabilo pencil, I need some more Rub and Buff, but I've opened up the bottom end, which is a good way to get out the last remnants of anything. And I have a little brush here, and I'm literally just going to take a little bit of the Rub and Buff on my brush, and I'm going to lightly, I'll just give you an example. Let's do this number 13 here. We're going to lightly highlight the numbers that are already on the page. And once that's done, I'll lightly buff them, and that's what we're going to do. So I will see you back here when I've added and highlighted all my numbers. What do you think? I think it's a good idea, right? Why reinvent the wheel? But yeah, see you in a minute. Okay, I finished with that. I'm kind of ambivalent about it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. Yeah, the 13 looks cool. Upside down. I think we're at the ugly stage of the page right now, so hopefully we can pull out of it. But that was that prompt. Let's go to the next one. Use spray inks through a stencil. Okay, here we go. This is the covering up part. I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm diving in with no plan here. I've torn up some paper towel to cover our sun, and I'm going to use this swirl stencil by Plaid. Pretty cool. And I have some Deco Art Media Misters here. This one's in dark purple and this one's in turquoise. This is a shimmer. So I'm just going to randomly alternate, and I have a glove on. I'm going to spray some shimmer through the stencil, both colors, and we'll move it around the page and see what we get. Try to protect that sun as much as I can, but I don't think it really matters that much. Okay. Corner to corner. And then up here. Okay. See what this gets us. Flip this over on that side. Take our sun off. And there we have it. Alright, well, I don't hate it. It's okay. I like how this is looking up here. I don't know how true the colors are coming through on the camera, but I'll make sure I get some good close-ups when we're done, but that looks pretty cool. So we'll let that dry, and in the meantime, let's pick, we have 2 more cards. Let's pick one here so I know what to prepare for. Oh my goodness. Use acrylic paint through a stencil. We certainly are stenciling away today, aren't we? Okay, let me dig again. Be back in a minute. Okay, this threw me for a loop for a little bit. I'm honestly running out of ideas here, but I decided to use some Punchinella, and I decided on this metallic black by Plaid. It's called Sequin Black, and I have a little makeup sponge, and we're just going to, at first I thought of just doing the sun's rays, which is how I got on the black kick. I was gonna, maybe I still will. Well, you know what? Let's try up here first. So I'm just gonna kind of randomly go around. Not too much. Yeah, I'm just going to go around the page like that. Very lightly. As if we don't have enough texture here. If the last prompt has us using a stencil, I don't know what we're going to do. Maybe I will go over the sun's rays. What do you think? Let's go for it. It's black, right? Add a little texture on those rays. You won't even be able to tell when it's dry. But we'll know. And the spiral. I don't know, guys. What do you think? There's so much going on here. It's so hard to even see it, you know? Alright. I could have at this for days. The less paint, the better, especially with this punchinella because the holes are so small. Okie dokie, she says. One more. Alright, that's how that's going to be. It's looking really dark. It's getting dark out. You can tell the lights changed. Okay, let's pull our last prompt. And I have no idea. Dun 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 dun. Draw something. Freehand, sketch, or trace. Interesting. Okay. Let me get some paint markers and see what we could do. Okay guys, I have some paint pens here. I have a Sharpie in white, one in metallic gold, and I have this Krylon silver leafing pen. And I'm just going to doodle around. I'm not going to draw anything specific. I'll probably do a border and maybe just some swirls and little doodles and things like that. So I'm going to do that off camera, and I'll come back and I'll show you how that wound up, okay? See you in a few. Okay guys, I let this dry overnight, and right now I'm filming on my phone so you can get a better sense of the colors here. As you can see, I went and outlined and drew and doodled with my gold Sharpie marker, and I also kind of outlined a little bit with just a black one. I added some spirals, and we're going to call this page done. So I hope you had fun playing along. If you did, and if you want to, I'll put the prompts at the end of the video and you can give it a shot. Please check out the links to the Facebook group below where you can join us over there and show your work if you'd like. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, and I will see you guys next month with another challenge.